What's good, fam? I'ma get right to it. Y'all ever see a moment that changes the whole vibe in the room, shakes up the whole city, and tells every fake out there that real rap is still alive? Bruh, I promise whatever you've been watching, you ain't seen nothing like what just happened out in LA. Kendrick Lamar, the heart of the West, just pulled a wild card nobody expected. Man just jumped on stage with Clipse, yeah, Pusha T and Malice, real legends, at the Novo, and LA was straight up losing their minds. This ain't just no regular surprise appearance either. It's a statement right in the middle of all this Drake drama and all these clowns trying to tell y'all what hip-hop should be. This wasn't no accident, no staged handshake. It's a W for real rap. And now, Drake stands, y'all can't ignore this one. See, I know everyone was talking. Is Kendrick just chilling? He laying low or what? Man, he came right back outside. You think because bro got off the last leg of his tour, he was about to sit down? Nah, Kendrick proved he's hungry. Still got the fire and still got that power to show up. Say nothing on Twitter, but let his presence shake whole buildings. These other rappers hopping in spaces ranting. But Kendrick, he picking up a mic and getting busy. That's real MC work, bruh. And if anybody doubt it, you gotta hold that L, because Kendrick just reminded the world you don't run hip hop with IG lives and lawsuits. You run it with bars. Man, let me tell y'all how it went down. August 23rd, right? Clipse already rocking the spot for their tour. Let God sort them out. Everyone in the crowd hyped, expecting greatness, but nobody ready for what's about to hit. All of a sudden, lights shift, boom. Kendrick walks out and the whole place just erupts. The floor shook, hands went up, and you could feel every West Coast spirit running through that room. It's a different energy when you can feel the respect, the history, the hunger right there on one stage. That's 3 heavyweights, 3 real ones, and not a single corny line in sight. You know what's even harder? Chains and Whips, their song together. This gotta be one of the hardest joints in years, and this was the first time anyone ever heard it live. I ain't gonna cap, it was legendary. Now I know you might be asking, what's the big deal with this Chains and Whips song? Let me break it down for y'all, because not everyone living on hip-hop blogs. This track ain't just some throwaway, some TikTok promo, you feel me? Nah, it's built different. Produced by none other than Pharrell, off that new Clipse album, Let God Sort Them Out. Clipse, Pusha T, Malice, these dudes been around, survived eras, always keeping it raw. Pharrell always blessing tracks with that extra sauce, but this time the collab almost didn't see light. Kendrick being featured, that made labels nervous, had execs sweating for real. Some said no because of the heat Kendrick been catching with Drake, even tried blocking it. But instead, man, Clipse just dropped the album independently. That's real. Like, no begging for industry approval, just straight up, we doing this for the people. That's something you gotta respect. Truth is, every step to drop Chains and Whips was a battle. There were people, I won't name names, but y'all know who, industry types, labels, all that, trying to keep Kendrick's name from adding weight to the project. Said it might alienate audiences. Like we not already grown and picking our own favorites. Whole time, real fans eating it up because real recognize real. Every move looked like a risk. Every verse like a shot at the system. And that's where you see the difference between those just rapping and those living hip hop. Kendrick ain't just some guest on a song. They built this W together. And that unity, you can feel it through the speakers. And yo, after that insane performance, Kendrick ain't walk off with his head down or hide behind press releases. Instead, he grabbed the mic, addressed the crowd with the energy that makes LA proud to its bones. He shouted out Clipse, real love, real respect right there. Said it's a privilege to be at home performing in front of legends. You see Pusha T and Malice standing shoulder to shoulder with Kendrick. That's family energy. That's been through it, still fighting for the sound type stuff. That's a W for everyone who wants hip hop to be more than just clickbait drama and fake online beefs. This show, this moment is what the whole city been craving. Unity, skill, and heart. If you ever doubted Kendrick's place, the respect he has, you looking real goofy right now. And it wasn't just bars and smoke either. There's a message in everything Kendrick does. Him showing this kind of love, this kind of humility, calling Malice and Pusha his brothers, talking to the whole crowd like family. That's leadership, not just in rap, but in culture. Watch how the real ones move, man. Notice how Kendrick didn't come out to use Clipse or to drown out their shine. He played his role, he hyped up the moment, then he chilled and watched the rest of the concert like a fan. That's humility. That's knowing every MC gets their turn, and you gotta respect those that came before you. That's the kind of energy that Drake could never duplicate, no matter how many times he changed his accents. But yo, let's talk about this Drake mess, because we ain't sweeping nothing under the rug. This Kendrick and Clipse show, everyone knew there was a big message in it, but it hit different considering the beef that's still sizzling. If you're not caught up, let me hit y'all with the real for a second. Drake, the supposed sixth god, been at war with Kendrick for years. Diss tracks, sneak shots, all that. Some of it's cinematic, but lately it's turned into the messy side of social media and lawsuits. Drake out here so pressed, he filed this wild lawsuit against his own label, Universal Music Group, just because Kendrick's Not Like Us cut too deep. Bro couldn't take the heat, so now he want to take people to court. I get it. you got your feelings hurt, but suing the biggest label out just exposes what kind of L you really holding. See, back in the day, if you got dissed, you dropped bars in response. You didn't call your lawyer or your manager. Drake done changed the whole vibe with these legal threats, like he trying to silence anybody who calls him out. Bruh, freedom of speech in hip hop is under attack, and y'all sleeping if you think this is just about music. It ain't. Drake been dragging Kendrick, even taking shots at his family, whispering about paternity, trying to put personal business in the street. It's messy, extra, and the exact kind of clown behavior we see from people that don't understand the grind. Instead of standing on record and defending himself with rap, Drake hiding behind courtrooms when everyone who grew up on hip hop knows that's an instant ill. And I know some folks keep saying, but Drake got fans, he got hits, he winning. Watch who's respected when the smoke clears though. Drake can have all the number ones, but that ain't got nothing to do with impact. This performance, Kendrick stepping out, doing what real MCs supposed to, that's what shifts culture. All these Drake supporters hiding behind group chats, they can't do nothing when real heads link up and show love. It takes real courage to keep it honest and be yourself when the world trying to box you in, when the industry calling your phone telling you to chill. Kendrick and Clipse ain't scared, and that's why this show was so wild. It felt like a rally, not just a concert, a big "you can't cancel us" moment in Drake's face. And here's where it gets even crazier, because chains and whips wasn't even supposed to make it to our ears, not with all the obstacles. But you can't stop the real from rising. You can't put no gag order on talent. You can't block greatness just because it's inconvenient for your brand deals. And the fans, man, y'all reacted exactly how you should. Room went nuts, people rapping every word, even though it was the first time performed live. It's bigger than sales, it's energy and history, and no amount of industry blackballing can suffocate that type of moment. If you was there, you witnessed legacy. If you only seen the clips online, you know that room was filled with legends and love. Speaking of love, before I go even deeper down this rabbit hole and break down just how hard Drake fumbled at this moment, take a quick sec and hit that like button. If you're rocking with real hip hop, I'm talking about actual bars, unity, legends, respecting each other, everything that keeps the culture moving. Drop a comment and tell me who you think ducked the most smoke this year. Was it Drizzy, or has someone else been dodging heat? And if you ain't already subscribed, you tripping. Got way more exclusives, breakdowns, and behind the scenes on deck. Don't miss out. Now, let's get into why this night, this performance, and this display of real camaraderie got the whole hip-hop industry reevaluating how we value legends, and why the next move in this Kendrick versus. Drake's saga is about to get uglier and way more interesting. Alright, we picking it up right where we left off, because this is where things stop being just about rap and start being about whether the culture gonna keep its backbone or keep bending it for mainstream dollars. This night was more than music. When Kendrick stood on that stage next to Pusha T and Malice, that's black excellence meeting street legacy. This ain't no label marketing stunt. This real community roots. When you grew up where I grew up, you know the difference. Ain't nobody on that stage had it easy, but they ain't fold. So when Kendrick came out and called the Clipse his brothers, said that's family, you could feel it. That's the kind of energy we pray for in the culture, not a bunch of posts about who got the biggest mansion, who copped the weirdest chain, but artists who respect the art and each other. See, real leadership in rap, it don't gotta be loud all the time. Kendrick showed that clear. He let the music do the talking, let his brothers shine, then play support like a fan in the room. You ever seen that from the self-proclaimed king of the six? Nah, Drake be out here trying to headline every room by himself, making every verse about his own little drama. Kendrick, even when under all this pressure, all this hate, all these legal problems, bro just picked up a mic and uplifted his people. That is how you pass down culture. But let's be real, what makes this even more special is the timing. Reason this hit so different is because Drake's been out here playing chess with lawyers, blaming everybody for what's going wrong in his world. It's like every time bro get called out for some weak move, he start talking, I'ma sue, or start gaslighting fans on some "why y'all being mean to me" type time. L after L after L. Nobody's scared of you, man. That's the truth. Real ones don't fear a court date when the music speaks for itself. Kendrick ain't hiding from nothing, and he damn sure ain't bowing to nobody's pressure. What Kendrick pulled in LA, that's a public middle finger to the idea that you can silence art just cause your ego bruised. You could see it in the crowd's face. They wasn't just there for good flow or some social media moment. They could feel every verse, every look, every "this is our home city" bar Kendrick dropped. We talking about people who came up on Section 80 and Hell Hath No Fury, not folks who found their favorite songs on a car commercial. These are people that know history, that lived through the Drake and Kendrick beef, seen it since Control, heard both sides push shots, and now, after all the back and forth, Kendrick still moving with dignity, still taking time to salute the OGs on the stage. Did Drake ever give that kind of respect? Did he use his platform to uplift the ones before him, show love to his city, show solidarity with artists fighting for something bigger than themselves? Never. Drake's so thirsty to not take an L, he can't even admit when he gets outclassed. He gotta move to Canada, act like he started from the bottom, then bring in big corporate lawyers when it gets real. That's not how you build a history. That's how you get clowned by legends, bro. What made the Kendrick X Clipse night extra special is it was a real stand against that whole machine. There's always people in this game that want to scare you with consequences. Don't speak out or they'll blackball you from labels. You lose brand deals. You can't come back from this. But look, Kendrick Malice and Pusha T just laughed in the face of all that. They said, nah, we good. We got the people. Bro, you see the crazy thing? All the so-called tastemakers tweeted the performance like it was the second coming. Every real rap podcast swept the Drake mess off the table because this was something so pure. That's the power of authenticity. And let's really put some weight on this because it's not just a Clipse X Kendrick, it's a W for independent spirit. Labels tried to keep chains and whips on the shelf, tried to block it undercover, thinking the streets wouldn't notice. But when you got three of the best to ever touch a mic, refusing to bow to old whiteboards, when you got Pharrell co-signing with a beat that could knock a subwoofer off the block, you realize who's running things. It isn't the suits, it's legacy. And when legacy moves like this, the whole rap community pays attention. Folks tweeting, this is what we need more of. The YouTube comments full of praise for unity over clout. Imagine a message that sends to every up-and-coming kid in the booth right now. Do it your way, do it for the craft, and don't let no label block what's real. But don't get it twisted. Drake stands, stay lurking, mad online trying to rewrite the moment. Oh, Kendrick needed this because he's scared to drop solo. Bro, cut that out. Kendrick could drop a freestyle about the color blue and have the whole world debating that and if he's dissing Kanye. He came out because he wanted to, not because he had to. There's a big difference between needing attention and being so undeniable that even the opposition got to tune in. Drake tried to erase the conversation with paperwork. Kendrick just made it 10 times louder by moving with the culture. Yo, if you really think about it, this whole saga showing why one side gonna last and the other gonna fade. Hip-hop started in rooms where everyone got a turn, where it was bars over everything, where community meant something. The moment we start letting clout chasers and industry plans make the rules, we lose the spark. The whole lawsuit stuff, shit's embarrassing. You fighting with your own label, leaking private claims about your rival's personal life, like this is a bad daytime show instead of the biggest stage on earth. That energy ain't ever been respected by the trenches, and it never will be. But let me say this, it's easy to hate on Drake endlessly. Bro stacking L's, sure, but the conversation gotta evolve too. What could Drake have done in this moment? He could have pulled up at a show, put on for his city, issued a direct challenge. Boom, mic for mic, song for song. That's what legends do, that's what we wanna see. Instead, he busy putting legal limitations on what people can and can't say. Weak. You want your name in the history books forever? Step up with the craft, not just the cash. Drake had a chance to prove he more than pop records and beef on Twitter, and bro fumbled that straight up. Meanwhile, there's another side to this. What if Drake used this time to actually reach out and grow? Imagine if he lifted up some new talent or gave flowers to those who came before or even copped to some of his own missteps. I mean, real ones can admit fault, they can be vulnerable, they can let the ego go for a second and make history. But till then, he just stacking losses while the culture moves past him. What's wild is, you don't even gotta be a Kendrick superfan to see how high the bar just got raised in hip hop. This wasn't about being trendy. This was a moment that made every rapper in the game old and new look in the mirror. Are you living this or just acting like it for clout? You saw the unity, the mutual respect. It wasn't a contest, but a celebration of bars, black artistry, and the city that made them. That's what legends build, and that energy don't fade, ever. What happens next? That's what got me hyped. The beef between Kendrick and Drake ain't dying, it's just leveling up. Lawsuits might delay a track, but they can't delay a culture shift. Kendrick got more shows lined up, and I promise you, this isn't the last unexpected link up the world gonna see. Rumor is more heavyweights wanna join that stage, more artists tired of industry politics, thirsty for a space where their pen game matters more than their brand deal. People ain't forgetting this moment. It's established. If you're about your art, about your city, about sharing the light, you're gonna keep winning. The fake gonna keep tumbling. Simple as that. Before I close this out, ask yourself, what side you wanna be on when the dust settles? You wanna back the streaming king who can't handle the heat without calling up his law team? Or you wanna stand behind the ones who build community, rep their family, and die for their bars? Hip hop don't give you respect automatic. You gotta earn it. Every day, every stage, every verse. So if you rocking with what you heard, don't just dip. Run up the subs and like this video so the algorithm can't ignore us either. Drop a comment, let me know if you believe Drake can even come back from this, or if real rap finally taking its spot back at the center. And if you think this foe's beef peaked, I guarantee you, hip hop got more wild chapters ahead. Keep your eyes peeled. You want more stories like this, more breakdowns of when legends give out W's and clowns take another L, you know what to do. Subscribe, stay locked in, and I'll be back soon with the next update. Appreciate y'all tuning in. This one's for the culture and for everybody who still believes in bars before brands. Stay up.